Welcome to Kitchen Chats. And if you're new here, I'm so happy you're here. If you watched my first episode, welcome back. I'm still not entirely sure what this is going to be long term, what the plan is, how I'm doing this. All I know is this. Ready? I have wanted to just turn my camera on and chat with people for a while. Now, really commonly people are like, oh, do an Instagram live, do a Facebook live. Sure. I tried it, don't like it. A, I have to pick a certain time. B, it still doesn't really feel like a conversation because there's always that lag in between the other person. So to be honest, I'd rather just talk to you here and just have a conversation as if you're able to talk back to me, and then have you comment, and then me comment back on your comments, and then, you know, we'll go from there. So today, yeah, we're gonna do that. I don't have to make kids lunches today. Yesterday, if you watched, I was making lunch for my kids who are in preschool, and then we go and meet up at lunch. Today, instead, I'm scooping out my breakfast because it's just one of those mornings and I haven't had breakfast yet, and I like to have breakfast. So I'll do that while we talk. I will not eat on camera if that bothers you. Don't worry, you don't have to witness that. I don't blame you for not really wanting to watch me eat. I don't really want to watch me eat either. But I do want to scoop out my food so that it's ready to be consumed when I go to edit this video and post it up on YouTube. I was debating if I want to do it on Instagram also. I don't know, do people watch 10-minute long videos on Instagram? I don't know. I really don't know. Close enough. Okay, cool. So today, let's talk. Oh, today's card. So I do tarot and coffee. If you're not familiar with this, what I started doing as a way of making sure I was getting my daily tarot pulls in, which is a really common, if you don't pull tarot, if you've never pulled tarot, or if you've never looked into it, one of the most common pieces of advice is to start pulling a card every day, right? Which totally makes sense. You start pulling a card every day, and then as you do it, you consider what that card means for you. You then also try to keep it in mind as you go throughout your day. What I love about this practice is my favorite way to approach tarot is about embodiment. And so it's about this idea that like the cards are indicators of how we live our lives. They very much are representations of things that you go through in your life on a daily and cyclical basis, just general life things, right? And so it gives you an opportunity to actually consider how you might embody the cards, as long as you're actually paying attention to it, right? And so I said to myself, what do I do every single day? And since I've been home with the kids for 2 years now, yeah, 2.5 almost, what I do is I make myself coffee every morning. And so I was like, what if I put my tarot cards next to my coffee cup, and then I just make sure I pull a card every day that way? And I'm like, okay, cool, that makes sense, because I don't always have an opportunity. I don't always think about doing it, right? But if it's there, cool. And then I started doing it as stories in my Instagram. So I was like, oh, maybe other people want to see this, but stories disappear after 24 hours. So cool, there's no pressure. It's like if people see it, they see it. If they don't, they don't. Not a big deal. And there were people in my life who follow my stories who really enjoyed them. And they were appreciating me pulling a single card every day and sharing it. And from there I went, well, what if I did it as a reel? So I started doing tarot and coffee every day as my own practice so that I can continue to have the cards, but also as a way to offer up a free single card reading for people every day if they choose to listen or watch or whenever they do. And then I don't really put very much information about what the day is itself. so that if someone comes across it later and they need that information was meant for them right there, right? Like if they come across a video because someone shared it a month later, that energy still may be what they need. They just didn't need it at the time that I pulled it. So I like having that opportunity there. And so that's how I started doing tarot and coffee. Now, the thing about tarot and coffee is it's 1 minute long. Now, sometimes I go a little bit over that, but I like to share them on YouTube also, and YouTube shorts are only a minute, and I know that that can get out to people a lot quicker. And so it has been leaving this spot of like, I want to talk more about it, because the fun thing is cards can mean so much. I mean, one card has a meaning, sure, but also it has meaning in context of your life and in meaning of context in, you know, what you're doing throughout your day or what you want to do 3 days from now. You know, like, there's also just so much on a card. Hold on. There's just so much on a card too, right? Like, there's so much to think about. Okay, so this was today's tarot and coffee card. So this is the 7 of Pentacles. Now, somebody had shared about this idea that like, what does it mean if the pentacles are separated out? So this one's all by itself, and then you've got all these. And so like, if I think about this, we've got a single by itself, that's our aces. Those are our sparks of inspiration. So he was inspired to actually create this garden, but guess what? Sometimes when you create a garden, there's a lot of waiting. We plant seeds and then we don't get the things we not want out of those seeds right away, right? One of my favorite memes, maybe I'll find it and share it on my Instagram today, is from Toad and Frog, the book, or is it Frog and Toad? Anyway, and Toad goes and plants a seed, and then he goes and stares at the ground and goes, "Grow! Why haven't you grown yet?" Right? And so this is this common knowledge, this common thing that we share, that even though, and the reason it's common is because even those of us who share this information, like, oh, you have to wait, the seeds have to grow, sometimes you can't see the fruits of your labor right away. Hey, guess what? Even me sharing that with you, I needed this message today too, right? This is all new. I've been doing tarot and coffee for a while now, and other things in my life have taken priority, and I haven't necessarily pushed doing other things that I've been inspired to do, like here, talking with you more long form, right? But the situation finally has presented itself where I can actually do that. I have an empty house right now. I don't like to have my kids on camera, so I would like the house to be empty when I choose to do these 10 to 15 minute long videos. And now I am at a point in my life where I have an empty house for an hour, and I can do this lovely video where I get to talk with you and have you talk back. And so if I had given up on this garden, if I had said, no, tarot and coffee is not good enough, I need this other thing. Either I have to figure out a way to make it grow faster, I need to figure out a way to tend to it in a faster, more different way, I need to go buy the fruit at the store instead of waiting for it to grow, or I tend to it knowing, even if it doesn't feel always the most inspired, even though it doesn't feel like the most inspired action I could be taking at this moment, it's action. It's what's gonna get me to that fruit. And I will trust that I am going to get there as long as I am taking some sort of action, some sort of baby step along the way. And so I'm doing that. And now I'm here doing this, and I'm excited. And I have to remember to keep going and see if there are other ways I can be inspired if this starts feeling meh. Right now I am in a Telegram group where we're talking about playing big for the month and really stepping back into that energy, because the summer so often is an energy of fun and joy and sometimes a little bit of work, but also relaxation, right? That's just what we tend to experience, especially those of us who have kids, because the summer often tends to be about them because there's no school, right? And so then you get into this space now where it's like, we're about to harvest, right? I'm in the Northern Hemisphere, if you weren't aware by my accent and my house and just my general conversation here. And so now we're getting into fall. And so as we get into fall, we get into actually harvesting things and getting really excited about that. And sometimes that brings a renewed sense of excitement, and how can we make the most of these moments? And here I am making the most of these moments, and I would love to offer that you too can make the most of whatever moment you have today, and sometimes take the action even if it doesn't feel the most inspired, because sometimes our uninspired actions lead us closer to that opportunity to take more inspired actions. So just keep doing the work. You got this. I'm glad you're here with me. I'm gonna go eat my breakfast now. Thank you for stopping by, and we'll chat more later. Bye for now.